Hello, family. After my wife died, God spoke to me. And one of the things that he said, tell people when they listen to listen with their heart, not their head, because your head resides in the world and has an ego that lies. The heart resides in the physical and spiritual world. Your heart knows truth. So tell them to follow their heart when they listen. And so this morning, God led me to a passage in the Bible that goes along with this. This is Proverbs 3 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. So that's pretty much what it says, because he said, tell people to listen with their heart, not their head. And it says, do not depend on your own understanding. And, he said, because your head resides in the world and has an ego that lies. So, he don't want us to depend on our own understanding because he will speak to us through our heart. And number 6 is seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. And so what helps us also with that are spiritual principles. Because, when we rely on our head, the ego gets in the way. And one thing that spiritual principles do is they deflate our ego. And that way, it doesn't interfere as much because when we deflate the ego, we give power back to our heart, back to our spirit. And we're able to listen from our heart instead of our head. And then we're able to hear God more clear, because when we choose, like I say, to just rely on our head and our own understanding, that ego gets in the way and it lies to us, and we don't get all the information, because the ego also, it don't listen, because it's trying to figure out what to say, so that pride gets in there. You got the pride and the ego gets all in there when you come from your head, but when you come from your heart, you're allowing your spirit, because what comes from the heart touches the heart. But when you come from your heart, you're allowing God, you're interacting with God. If your heart is of love. Yeah, but if you have a heart that's dark, you're not going to hear anything anyway. So, but like I say, spiritual principles they're like a Swiss Army knife. It does many things. For one thing, it keeps us on the path, to God, and it heals us. And I have a few to tell you what some of the spiritual principles are. Faith, love, honesty, open-mindedness, willingness, acceptance, tolerance, patience, forgiveness, humility, non-judgment, soft reply, communicating, reciprocity, praying for your enemies, assume decency, selflessness, empathy, and compassion. See, when we incorporate these things in our lives, it keeps us on the path with God, and also it heals us. But anyway, I love you. God bless you. Have a blessed day. Let love reign.